All right, so I may be very blown out or maybe not. We'll see. But it's my first time doing this out in the open. I decided to wake up today and, film my content every Wednesday as usual. But today I'm gonna try to film most of it outside. And this kind of goes into a principle that I absolutely love to follow, that it's near and dear to my heart, which is doing one thing every day that scares you. I got the principle originally from Tim Ferriss, where he was saying basically if you always are pushing yourself, taking more risks, then you just get used to them. It's getting acclimated to taking risks. And then before I started traveling on this big trip, when I left 9 months ago now from the US, my dad gave me a book, a journal that he never filled out. He only filled out 1 or 2 pages. And it was, do one thing every day that scares you. I ended up giving away this journal because I wasn't filling it out either. Just the cover was insanely sick, and it just pushed me throughout my whole trip was to take risks and even talk to dogs. That's you can just see his nose peeking out underneath. He's barking at me. But yeah, that's part of the risks we take. One of the biggest risks I took on this trip was when I was in Greece at 4 or 5 a.m. as my videos normally start. I took a taxi out to Marathon, Greece, a town outside of Athens where the Battle of Marathon took place. And I decided to run the original marathon and recreate it myself. And yeah, basically went out there before dawn, and I let the taxi go. I just said, hey, I'm meeting a friend out here. He's like, oh, you sure you're okay? And I'm like, yeah. And basically was just all right, now I have nothing but myself. I had a bag of water and I think I didn't even have a snack on me. It was just water, and I had Gatorade in there for electrolytes. And then basically just took that and ran 26 miles back to Athens, where I finally ended at the main Olympic Stadium. But yeah, that was just a huge risk on my part. People thought I was crazy. They're like, oh my God, what if something happens to you? Especially at 4 a.m. And I was just you know what? I'm gonna take that risk. That's part of why I enjoy traveling, is it automatically put those things in front of you. Even taking flights. I got stranded in Romania once, just because I took a sketchy layover and it didn't end up connecting. And so right now we're just continuing going through. We're not going through very busy streets. They're mostly alley-ish, but I'm still passing some people on the way. But yeah, that's just part of being uncomfortable with these scenarios. Even I'm taking a risk doing this so late in the day. I kind of woke up a little bit later today than usual, and I knew I definitely want to get this video done. But yeah, I'm doing this very close to a client meeting. I even gotta wait for the lights and whatnot. People drive past. This is my first time vlogging out in public with a full ass camera, because usually I just have my iPhone out in public. It's easier to have and whatnot. Just can put it in my pocket, and it's just less of a risk for me to take out. I don't have to worry about doing this, and also I can just always pretend I'm on FaceTime. But this is something different for me, and I'm really enjoying it thus far. It's I originally, when I came up with this idea a couple days ago, I was like, oh shoot, I'm kind of scared, and that's how I knew I should do it. Even with certain client projects, I'm thinking about taking on certain ones that I'm like, it kind of scares me how tough these are gonna be. But that's where I get the high payouts, you know, on the ones that are tough, and then I learn something at the end of the day, and then I expand my skill set. So that's why you should take risks, is you're just gonna expand your skill set. Like right now, my skills are being expanded to blogging out in public, and not many people can do it. You see a lot of people on YouTube do it, but out of the whole population, it takes a certain type of person to come out here with a huge ass camera and just go for it. I'm wondering maybe if I should go on a busier street. We'll ease into it. I think I'll take one more alley down. All right, yeah. It's also good just to get like sunlight on my skin first thing in the morning. I don't do this enough because I get straight to work because I feel most motivated in the morning, but I've just been doing that, just kind of like waking myself up with the walks. What I used to do when I first started going freelance was just take an afternoon walk when the sun's at its peak. And that was really good for me, but then I started going to the gym in the afternoon, and that would count as my walk, and then I'd feel tired after the gym. I just want to make sure I get all my income-producing activities done first thing in the morning. But it works out all right in that case, that I can still get things done. And it is quite nice out here in Sydney. Like, I was talking to a lot of friends in Bali, or who have come here from Bali, and they're like, oh my God, it's so cold. Or other places in Southeast Asia, like it's just super hot right now. And it kind of is close to the equator, so it's same about year round. This is good. And one of my friends actually considers this like perfect weather. He's like, 50, 60 degrees is perfect. He's this big guy who he sweats with anything. The thing is, he's from the Caribbean originally, so I don't get that, but it is slightly too cold for me. That's why I woke up late. I was just like in bed, snuggled up, didn't feel like getting out. That's why I think I really like hot weather, is it gets me motivated to go do things. And that's really what I always try to do. I try to produce more, create more, get more things done. Oh, now we are on a bit of a more busy street. We keep going, we keep trudging through. Now I am seeing the people look at me, but you know, who cares? I'm not filming them, I'm just filming myself. And we just keep talking. Like, once this hits 10 minutes, I think I'll clock it off. But so far it's going well. You should really get the morning sunshine in, you know? It's worth it. A lot of people get it in when they do their commute to work, but especially if you work from home, you don't get that super often. I actually loved working from home in Miami. Oh, that was the best. I'd just work. I had my big ass desktop, like right in my room. I always woke up to birds chirping. That's one thing I love living here, is since it is quite suburban, I always have birds chirping. And I'm realizing more and more there are nice cafes in my area. Like the area I lived in before, Balmain, now I'm in Crow's Nest. Balmain had just had like one small street. And that was basically all of it, but you could always find like really nice cafes there. Here there are some nice, quiet ones as well. I really love Sydney. I mean, I could not. Melbourne's more artistic and definitely less international based, which some people like. It's more Australian, so you really get that feel of it. But here, I get mild weather, which works out well for me. I definitely am hungry too. I had a little bit of breakfast, but I definitely am gonna make more after this client meeting. I need to get these videos done though before I make myself food. I always reward myself with food after doing work. And we're slowly getting like to the point where I can turn off this camera after 10 minutes. Yeah, we just hit the 10-minute mark. This is phenomenal. But yeah, comment down below one thing today that you're gonna do that scares you. Do it today too, right after watching this video. I don't care if it's midnight. Go out. Like one thing I used to do in Miami is I lived next to a pretty busy highway, but at night sometimes it would be like completely still. So I'd go out on the highway and just lay on the street and just be like, all right, like I can hear any cars coming if I really needed to. But yeah, just do that, even if it's like 4 a.m. where you are. Hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you feel like checking out more, the YouTube algorithm is suggesting this one for you. Hope you have an epic day.